break. This is still Doreen Kemcha on Women in Business, Smart 24 TV. And I'm still here with Hilda Karamaji, Managing Director of Blue Edge Marketing. Hilda, it's amazing, and I still find it very amazing how simple, yet how complex it is to brand.
Absolutely.
I think this fascination came out when I was looking at all these iconic brands. Yes?
Yes.
Coca-Cola, Pepsi,
Yes.
the Nikes, and all that. And then I got to know a little bit of the hints from another person who was talking about their marketing strategies, but also how the branding is tied down.
Yes.
Now, when we come down to our women in business and how they are learning to brand themselves, yes, and how we are emphasizing that they really take this serious and be keen on the branding. How is the relation between the branding and the marketing?
And the marketing. I'll
Yes.
cover two things. One, let me start from the intrinsic position, and that is the woman herself, the business owner. I think one thing I have seen, and this is on social media, you get to observe a lot on social media, there's this tendency to try and keep up with the Joneses.
Yes.
Okay, so this other person has done this, is saying all this stuff about themselves, and you're thinking, oh, I got to jump in and also say all this wonderful stuff about myself. You lose authenticity. You have got to be very, very clear about who you are, what your strengths are. There's one thing I learned in one of my corporate roles, and I was talking to the HR director there, and he was saying to me, Hilda, a lot of people spend too much time trying to turn weaknesses into strengths, trying to address weaknesses. No, identify your strengths and play those up, so that's what you're going to be known for. Then find a way to mitigate your weaknesses, and a very good way is to hire people around you or partner with people around you that have strengths in your area of weaknesses. Then you're able to deliver. Remember, it's brand networks, right? That's where the competition is. You're able to deliver a cohesive, strong brand that's consistent. Now, when I talk about authenticity, I think it's important for us as women to stop trying to be,
Everything.
To play into that, what would I call it? There's that whole persona that a business owner is supposed to have,
Like what?
I don't know. You're supposed to be tough, and you're supposed to be non-emotional, and all that stuff that really for us women doesn't really
It doesn't work.
That's not
It's
who
not
we
natural.
are. We are naturals. Okay, play it up, because empathy is a very strong leadership trait. And you as a woman then can stand out by playing up that as a trait, as long as you don't go into the highly emotional space, because now when you start getting too emotional, people lose confidence in you. You can't run a business through emotions. But empathy, being able to put yourself in the other person's shoes, can win you a lot of customers, loyal staff members, and partners that actually want to constantly work with you, because they feel that they are talking to somebody, they're working with somebody who actually appreciates and relates and understands them. We have, we are able to, so understand what your strengths are. Play those up. Don't try to be like so-and-so. It doesn't matter who is saying what on LinkedIn. It doesn't matter what medals they are bragging about or talking about. It doesn't matter. I remember one time on LinkedIn, there's a lady that came on board and said, guys, I'm frustrated. Every time I come on LinkedIn, I'm hearing people saying that I'm proud to say I've just been appointed, I've just got this job, and etc. I'm a bit depressed because I'm putting in applications, and now it's getting quite frantic for me.
Yes.
And I was thinking, oh dear, this is terrible, because this is somebody probably that doesn't even need to be employed. And guess what? The next time this lady came to talk about herself, she was proudly talking about an NGO she had started, and she is thriving.
Her strength.
Yet she was looking for a job like everybody else. So she could come out and say, she said, I can't wait to also come out and say I've just been appointed as the something manager of this company. And that's what she was focused on, because she was trying to follow what everybody else was doing. And she did not take time to, I think she kind of stumbled. She's not somebody I was personal with, but I believe that she kind of stumbled onto a conversation with herself, maybe, and realized that, look, will I even thrive in that? Even if I get a job, will I thrive? This is what I love to do. So this is what I'm going to invest my time in. So
I love the fact that you bring it up, because it reminds me of a conversation that we had with Madame Nakayenga of Rena Beverages.
Yes.
And she said, people, competition is competition, whatever they say, but do not lose any sleep over over. Do not
No.
worry yourself
Not
over
at all.
competition.
Not at all.
Why? Develop your own self.
Yes.
Be confident about who you are.
Absolutely.
Be aware of what is happening in the market.
Yes.
But concentrate more on your strength.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you'll find, if at all you are, bustled and frattled by everyone who comes in, that means every new person who is bringing in, now we are more.
Exactly.
Now we are many.
Exactly.
You'll get frazzled every single time.
Exactly. That's exactly the point I'm making. Understand who you are, because when you understand who you are and play up to your strengths, you come across as authentic. People can smell authenticity a mile away. Yeah. But if you try to play up performance deliverables that you see everybody else talking about and playing about, the day the people that are interested in you as a result of what you say, the day they meet you, they will be disappointed.
They'll be disappointed.
Now, if they're disappointed, you've lost that opportunity. You have one chance to make a first impression. One chance. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression.
Yes.
They will be disappointed.
What about rebranding?
Rebranding, that's an interesting subject, and it is important. You see, now when you're busy trying to establish and articulate where your strengths are, you may actually be put on your journey to rebrand yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, because perhaps you found yourself going a certain direction because you are expected to go in that direction. I have somebody on my team that, and I hope she won't mind me talking about this, but she is a law graduate, full with LDC, qualifications, and she worked as a lawyer for a bit of a while, and she realized actually her passion is in marketing. And she switched. But when she switched, when she talks about her history, she leaves out the law conversation. I said, why? That's it's a part of you, and it also articulates certain traits of strength that we expect from lawyers. Yeah, we know they're good analysts. We know they can handle huge amounts of information and simplify the information, the story for you. They have strengths that are very, very important for whatever field you want to get it into life. So own your story, because that's what makes you authentic. But if you come out and say, I've always been a marketeer, and that's not your story, you're not going to deliver it in an authentic way. And people are going to pick it up. They'll pick up on that. So own your story, own your strengths. Every human being walking on this earth has a strength or two or three or four. Everybody. And even as a leader, it's important that you actually focus on helping your teams to identify their strength and their real potential, because that's when they work. At that point, work is no longer work. It's actually fun. You get up in the morning and you're getting up to do something you love to do because you are in the right box or the right circle. You're in the right place, in the right position, and now you know what you need to do to get ahead building from that. Yeah.
You're talking about authenticity, right?
Yes.
And you know what was coming on in my mind? I was thinking about there are a couple of, they call them transitional entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yes? You started off because your friend was doing something great with baking. Yes? Your friend said, you know what, there is money in baking. I can bake cakes for someone's birthday parties, start off like that. You can do it at home, yes, because that's what I'm doing, so why don't you do it? And then the friend's like, you know what, I can actually do what you're doing. Let me actually do it as well. Mm-hmm. And then they start off just like that. Get me someone, do you have children? Then they post on their status, the WhatsApp status. If you have children, we can do this. And then they post up a very nice cake, got from somewhere. And then voila, the business starts up. And then later on, as they transition, they get to understand, oh, I have to develop a brand. It's like you keep working backwards and getting back.
Yeah, that's absolutely normal.
Which is okay. Mm. But right now, most are working backwards.
Yes.
The emerging entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs in Uganda.
Yes.
Working backwards. Now, I would want to know, because you have highlighted and given us awesome insight on branding, what to be keen on. How do we relate this particular branding into marketing? Because you are talking about values, you are talking about being consistent, you are talking about if you make a switch in this, your client may get confused and ditch you.
Yeah.
So how do you tie them in and how?
I mean, let me start with, you made a statement about a lot of entrepreneurs work backwards, and that's true, because a lot of entrepreneurs start businesses because they have identified as a problem within their area of sight, and they believe they have the skills and expertise to provide a solution to that problem. They spend a lot of times, and I'll get to the marketing part. So you spend a lot of times being obsessed with this solution, with this product. It's not even a solution, it's a product.
Yes.
So you're obsessed. It's going to work faster, it's going to work better than the competitors, it's going to do this, going to do that. You can only take it so far. Look at what happened in the telecom, was it the phone industry? Would I call it phone industry? In its sector where we had Nokia. It was the phone for the longest time. And then these smartphones came. Apple was the first. And, you know, customers were telling Nokia, we also want these other snazzy, frazzy, fancy things in our phones. And Nokia was like, no, our customers will go nowhere. And for the longest time, their customers went, till the customers thought, look, we really need these features. So when you put them in, call us, but we're gone. And they left. And the CEO, there's a clip that's going around, or that went around of the CEO crying, and Nokia saying, we don't know where we went wrong. How can you not know where you went wrong? You didn't listen to your customers, and that's where I'm coming to. Get away from focusing on get away from being obsessed with your product. Because if you get obsessed with your product, your customers are constantly being inundated with technological changes that they have to shift perspectives. Their needs are going to shift whether you like it or not. Their needs are going to shift. So if you're going to sit there and say, we are good, we are not changing anything, they will leave you very kindly and very politely. They will leave you.
I want, please, I want you to stress this. I want
Yes.
you to look right into the camera.
Oh, okay.
I want you to look right into the camera and stress this, because this is very, very important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yes.
Don't be so rigid. But
don't be rigid.
Yes,
Stay away. Now, how does it get to marketing from there? So initially we offer a product, we're obsessed with a product, but if you never make that shift from the product to customer obsession, you're not marketing. You're not going to survive. You will die. Because the only constant is change. That's the only constant in life, is change. So, and your customers are constantly changing. They're moving on. When they're not changing in their current lives, they're growing. They're changing through age groups, you know, or they are changing through, they're developing in their professional careers, or they are changing in their lifestyle from being students to parents. Yes. And getting
you want to grow with them.
You want to grow with them. But even the ones that are coming into the demographics and the psychographics that you've been serving, they're coming in with new influences. You know, and that's why in marketing we have all these, we classify, you know, our customer groups as they move through life. You've got the Gen Xers, you've got the millennials, you've got, you know, all that, because each of them have different influences economically, politically. Now the group that were probably going to school during the pandemic time, they have experiences that are going to influence their purchase choices. Now, if you're going to sit there and say, I'm not going to change my product, and you do not obsess about your customer, you're going to lose that customer. That is a guarantee. It's happened there. The brand graveyards are so full of brands like that just will not change with their clients or the customers.
And as you even mentioned this, what comes up to me is that in most cases, the business owners actually tend to fixate themselves on what is happening in the competitors' camp.
That's another problem.
And not necessarily, because there's like, you are emphasizing that they ought to be focused, and not even just focused, but obsessed with their clients.
Yes, obsessed. Get obsessed with your customer.
Getting obsessed with the customers. But I'm actually thinking to myself and saying, but we do this the other way around, because we are focused on what's happening with the competition. Yes? What is the competitor offering? For example, events management. Oh, they brought this right now. They have these particular chairs. They have this particular, that is what I should be bringing, right? That happens, especially in events management.
It happens across the board. And what I would like to advise my fellow ladies is that get away from that competitive approach. Watch your competition for one reason and one reason only. Look at opportunities at building partnerships with them, because there's no one organization. These days, the way consumer needs change, it's getting to a point where there's no one brand that can actually meet all the needs satisfactorily or delight this customer. But if you can partner with a player in your industry that can do certain things better than you, and I've seen that happen in the events industry that you're talking about, then you're able to deliver a holistic solution that will delight your customer, and your customer will come back. So as much as possible for the fellow ladies in business, if you can look at building partnerships, and instead of looking at your competitors as enemies, these are opportunities to actually offer better solutions, more holistic solutions to your customers. You can partner anyway. You can partner across horizontally with other competition, or you can partner through the value chain, vertically through the value chain. But partnerships are really, really good because they allow you to focus on what you do best.
Yes.
Now, I gave you an example. I kept saying to you I'm a marketing strategist. I'm not a marketing specialist because I want it to be clear that my area of focus is going to be in strategic planning, capacity building, partnership building, and stuff like that. But if you come to me and say, look, I have an event and I'd like you to coordinate that, fine, I'll tell you I can do that. Do you know what I'll do? I will go into my network and identify a good event management company, and bring them on board, introduce them to you, and I'll tell you I will coordinate the effort for you because you came to me for a certain reason, and I can always ensure that whatever they're doing aligns with your strategic imperatives. Because that's what I do. Probably I developed your strategic plan, your marketing strategy. So I'll say I will make sure that whatever they're doing aligns with your strategic imperatives, but these are the guys that are going to execute this event for you. I'll work with them, I'll coordinate the effort for you. You see, now, instead of looking at these guys as competitors, to me, they suddenly became a complementary. And at that point, the client is like, fantastic. Now, you know what? How about my digital media? Can you do that as well? And you go out and bring specialists in that area. Increasingly in business, I think as women, we should do more of that. We should partner with each other and complement each other's weaknesses with our strengths in business so that you can offer a cohesive solution. Now, tie that into branding. Make sure that you're very careful about who you partner with. Because if you deliver a certain set of credentials to your client and they are used to your way of working, and you bring in somebody that is completely, all the way there, then your brand suffers. Theirs doesn't, yours does. Yeah. And your client, you can lose your customer.
But that is why very many brands are not very willing to get, you're talking about partnership, but many are not willing to partner, to get into that. Yes, one, because they say, I've had one actually say, you know what, many people are disorganized.
Yes.
Many people are disorganized.
Yes.
But number two, I like to work in a space where I'm able to evolve as I want.
Yes.
I remember someone within baking telling me that I would want to evolve as I want, as at according to my resources, as at according to my client. I don't want to be boxed in when I get into partnership and they're telling me, okay, fine, can you concentrate on this niche and another concentrate on that and another. I want to be all to my clients, to my treasure. What about that?
If you have that capacity to do that, do it. Because there are many ways to actually build partnerships. You can say, I will bring certain individuals in when I get an order that is outside of our core delivery. So I'll bring them in and they'll come in under my brand. They'll come in under my brand, and I will bring them in as consultants or associates or whatever it is. The client will never know about, they don't even need to know about them. You can do that. You can do that, or you can say to somebody, let's talk, let's see, and then you have to work out a charter, an MOU, how you're going to work together. Of course, for a partnership to work, even when you're recruiting staff, there are certain things you look for. And then you have to have a contractual agreement. The problem, if you don't have a contractual agreement, then yes, you will suffer. Have a contractual agreement or at least a memorandum of understanding that will guide the way you're going to do business. And of course, you've got to check in with each other and make sure that you share, at least you have within your values sets, you have a subset that you share. And that subset has got to be important to the client. So it's not just a case of saying, hey, come, let's talk, let's do business. No, you've got to actually work on that, developing that partnership.
And there's so much.
Because it affects your brand.
There's so much.
Yeah.
But coming down, I just want you to highlight one particular opportunity that you get to see, especially for the woman coming up there who needs to have a cohesive marketing plan. What particular opportunity should she take advantage of right now? Just quickly, in a few words.
In marketing, whoever understands the customer better wins that market. It really is as simple as that.
Please repeat that.
In marketing, whoever understands the customer better amongst all the subset of service providers, whoever understands what they need and even what they don't know they need, If you can go beyond what they tell you they need, because they'll tell that to every player in the industry. So you all offer the same functional benefits. If you can develop your skill of an expertise to understand what they don't tell you they need. A good example I always use, if you look at the telecom industry, I bet you when Safaricom was doing research in the telecom industry 20, 25 years ago, I don't know when they actually started. They started as a telecom company like any other company. I bet you there's not one respondent in their research that told them, I want to transfer money through my phone. Not one. But they figured it out. So whoever it is that understands that customer better wins, because entrepreneurs have this mindset, always trying to find solutions to problems. So if you understand your customer better, that means you understand their problem better. That means you'll be able to come up with better solutions than other players in the industry.
It's not about you.
It's not about you.
It's not about you, the entrepreneur. It's not about you. It's not about your product. Your product. It's not about what you want.
It's your customer.
It's actually your customer.
It's your consumer.
It is your consumer. And,
Yes.
and very many times, why am I saying that? Because there's that fixation on my product. We even talked about it earlier.
Yes,
There's that
yes.
fixation on my product,
Yes.
developing it. I want it to be this. I want it to
Yes,
stand out on the
yes.
shelf. And very little on the actual customer who's
Yes,
buying it.
yes, yes.
So the table should be changed. If you are doing that, please change.
Yes, obsess.
Change. Obsess. She actually calls it. I call
Be
it
customer,
fixate,
be
but she
customer
calls it
obsessed.
obsessed.
Yeah, be customer obsessed. Spend time. I remember way back, I've had so many of these kind of experiences where when I go and spend time with a customer, I'm like, I get an aha moment, and I can't wait back and go tell my colleagues, guys, we're doing it wrong. This is what they really want. And then when you're able to you're able to articulate it back to the team, everybody's flying around discarding this, wasting time with that, let's do trading, change even the type of people that are hired, and then you win. The minute you hit the market with that product, you're taking off, you're the buzz, and everyone's like, whoa, how did you know this is what we wanted? Why? Because somebody went and spent time with them. I was at one time a brand manager of Omo, and I had to go, and I was taught this by my boss. He told me, you didn't come here to spend time behind a computer. I don't care how excited you are about your position. Remember the time I was telling you how I got that job? So I thought I was going to be behind this computer.
Wait, as we wrap up, we're going to wrap up on this joke. He said he doesn't care how excited you are about
No,
your
I'm not going to be
position.
behind a computer. He said you're going up country and you're going to wash clothes with people. Go to their homes and wash clothes. That's the only way you're going to understand how these products work.
Yes.
And in other markets within the same company, they went as far as saying, let's get jobs as house girls. Yes, if we're going to understand how they use our products in the kitchen, how they use our products. A marketing director got the worst job ever. They didn't know these were actually,
Yes,
they really knew they were hiring house girls. And she came with her very simple dress, and she said, guys, I spent 2 nights sleeping on the floor. These guys don't even give you mattresses to sleep on. Then I have to wake up in the morning, early in the morning, and wash those clothes. Now you can imagine I'm washing clothes and the stains are not coming out, and I didn't sleep well. Let's make it easier for them. Stuff like that. And she's asked me what to buy. You guys will think that it is the women of the house who have the money who buy these things. No, it's the house girl. Whatever she asked me, what are we buying today? I told her. The brands that make my life easier are the ones I'm going to tell her.
You people, if you don't use this information to grow yourselves, to grow your companies, I don't know what else. Branding, be keen on these details. Marketing, find out what your customer wants. Find out what is different and what they are talking about. This is feedback. Don't get angry when they give you feedback about your product or your service. Please use it, integrate it, and make it better, because that customer is the one that gives you the monies. Hilda, in just one word, just one second, I want you to look right into the camera and stress, just 1 second, stress to the woman in business right now who is watching and would want to finalize this and come up with something that is good, a good brand. Just give them that one shot.
A good brand. Okay. First of all, be clear about what you're in the business of. Don't focus too much on how you're going to deliver that product. Decide, this is the problem I have identified, so this is how I want to ease the life of this particular consumer. Then go straight, before you start developing your product, go straight to your consumer and understand their entire lifestyle when it comes to that product category you have chosen. And then come back and start developing your ideas, your concepts, test them back. Constantly go back and check. You cannot go wrong, I guarantee you. For over 25 years, I've never seen a product get to the market and fail when they did not start with the customer. Start with your customer, end with your customer, then get your product out there. And continue checking in with your customer because, like we say, their insights change, their needs change, and whoever is in that industry that understands the customer better always wins. Always, guaranteed.
That has been Hilda Karamaji, the MD for Blue Edge Marketing. Please understand your brand. It is who you are. Your brand is you. You are a representative of your brand wherever you go. Each person coming, whether it is the person producing, whether it is the factory worker, whether it is the delivery man, all those are tied into your brand. So make sure that all these are actually a reflection of what you want your brand to be. I want you to listen over and over because there is so much to learn in this particular episode. But that is it for now. Until the next time we meet, this has been Doreen Kemcha on Women in Business Smart 24 TV. And today on this episode, we had Hilda Karamaji. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Doreen, and thank you, viewers. Thank you.
Until next time, bye-bye, and thank you for joining.